May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and one mom is sharing her own story of parenting a teen who struggled with drugs, alcohol, and depression. Both of them open up about mental health and the crisis they endured to help others who feel like they have no hope.
I know this is their first therapy session, but do you have one of those punch cards where 10 sessions and I get one free because this right here is going to take a while?
Kristina Kuzmic is the definition of keeping it real. She first gained popularity on social media after her videos about motherhood went viral.
I could not wait until bedtime.
Thanks to her honesty and humor.
Back when I started, everybody was perfect and life is perfect and motherhood is perfect. And I was like, no, it's not.
She's now on tour using comedy to bring light to topics that are usually kept in the shadows.
Because I just feel like if I have a platform, if I have an audience, I want to talk openly about the tough stuff in life. And I want to be super vulnerable about mental health.
When do you remember first feeling depressed?
It was probably around 6th grade, somewhere around there.
But it was this video about mental health that generated the biggest response.
For me, depression feels like, on paper, I should be having the best moment of my life, but I feel super down.
A candid conversation between her and her son Luca, where he talks about suicidal thoughts and turning to drugs and alcohol to numb the pain.
You were starting to punch holes in the wall, basically destroying stuff in the house, throwing stuff. We got to the point where every single morning you would leave for school and I would search your room.
Their heart-wrenching stories are part of a new book that was just released this week. The title of your book is I Can Fix This. Where does that come from?
That makes me cry every time I hear that title. Because I was so desperate to just save my kid. And so I went into I can fix this mode. I can get him the right therapist and I'll get him the right doctor and we're gonna fix this.
Kristina says her book is full of lessons and mistakes she made while her son was in crisis.
And I had to decide to spend less time trying to control and instead to connect. A lot of times a kid will say to a parent, admit to a parent that they have thought about taking their life. And the parent will go, oh my gosh, no, you don't really want to take your life. You don't really want to do that. You have a great life. Look at all the things. You don't want to do that. But what you're doing with that is you are telling them that thing you feel is not real. It's not real. You're invalidating them because now they feel even more alone in their struggles. She doesn't believe me. She doesn't think it's that bad. She thinks that just me looking around and seeing how grateful I am for everything is going to take away this depression, but that's not how it works.
She hopes the book will provide hope to parents whose child is struggling and get rid of the shame and stigma surrounding mental health.
Let's get to a point where it's not brave, where it's just normal to say, hey, I struggle with depression. Hey, I have these thoughts. Hey, I have anxiety, bipolar, schizophrenia, whatever. Let's get to a point where it's not brave to admit that we are human with human struggles.
And her son actually wrote the last chapter of the book, so readers will get to hear not only his perspective through the eyes of someone who was diagnosed with depression, but what he needed from his mom during that time. It was his idea to actually write the chapter of the book. In fact, the entire book, mostly of her portion, was she made sure that he had a say in everything, that it was an accurate portrayal of what he was feeling at the time, and her admission, her apologies, her mistakes that she made, what she learned throughout the process, and she's still learning. There's no manual for this type of stuff.
No way. I mean, her vulnerability, her humility,
yeah,
really makes it accessible for so many parents, even like myself. And just, I mean, I don't have the quite experience, obviously, that she does with my young kids, but I've seen so many parents on her page, the comments that people are leaving, the deep stories, she's really making a difference.
It resonated with so many people,
Yes.
and I think what helps those other people who are reading those comments is no one's alone in that.
Right.
What she experienced is sadly what a lot of people are going through right now, and that's why she's hoping that sharing her story so openly will help others
So true.
be able to not feel alone, feel hope.
She's important.
Yeah.
Thanks, me.